We're back on Real Life and talking about hormones and hormones specifically for the younger set. Let me tell you, as the mom of a couple of teen girls, this is a really difficult time in a young girl's life at times. There are so many changes happening and the young girls really don't necessarily understand why or how they're happening, but these are things that can be regulated with a little help. So today on Real Life, we're calling in that help in the form of our friend Kelly Nolan, who is here. She's the clinic director of Avita Integrative Health and Restoration. Welcome back, Kelly.
Thanks, Sharon.
So great to have you here. Now, so you're going to help me today because, yes, I have a couple of teen girls at home, and boy, the hormonal changes really shake them up.
Well, I have a couple teenagers at home, young girls as well, Sharon, and I think the challenge for us is our hormones are changing and so are our children's, and more so than when you and I were young women, for sure.
And it also seems in some cases to be happening younger than I recall when I was going through that myself.
Oh, much younger. Girls are getting their cycles now when they're 10 and 11 years old, so it starts at a very young age.
Now, when we think about how, it's funny how when we get to the age we are, I'm not saying what age we are, but when we get to the age that we are, we tend to forget just how difficult this time can really be. What are some of, directing to moms who have young girls who are approaching this stage of life, what are some of the things that our young daughters are feeling and going through?
I think they're going through a lot of hormone shifts that we never had to face. They're having really difficult cycles, a lot of mood swings. Unfortunately, we see a lot of young teenagers on antidepressants. They may suffer from anxiety. So there's a lot more symptoms than you and I ever went through at that time of our life.
So when it comes around and we're starting to notice these changes in our daughters, and I think whereas when we get a little older, we may verbally say, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, boy, this is happening. I find with the younger girls, often they will just regress and they'll just go and hide and deal with it. What are things that moms should be looking for, and what steps should we take to help them?
I think it's just trying, of course, which is challenging, to have really open communication with them and teach them to monitor their cycle, look for the symptoms of their cycle, and understand that there's a lot of things we can do to help them. Even starting with some diet changes and lowering the sugar intake in their diet will make a big difference for them.
That's a good step right there. And as I recall being a teen and watching my girls, they tend to not necessarily grab for the healthiest food choices right off the bat. But diet can definitely, and this is something that if we instill it in them at this age, I guess this is something that they can carry through their lives and it'll help them throughout.
Well, diet is always a big factor for all of us, even going through menopause. So if we can teach them at a young age to help control their sugar levels through diet, certainly their hormones are going to benefit from that.
Are there any supplements that perhaps we should be looking at young girls taking? Is it ever too soon to start on supplements?
I don't think it's too soon. I mean, we treat even very young children, not for hormone imbalance, but other different symptoms and issues, and I don't think it's ever too young to start. We even do testing at a young age when they're in their teens as well.
I would imagine that once you must see it through your clients at the clinic, that once you address some of these issues and set it right, whether it's through diet, whether it's both supplements and diet, the results must really have more than just the effect of alleviating symptoms, but really help with the young girl's self-esteem, which can be a whole other issue.
Oh, I think it just brings a whole change to the positive for them, both in their perspective on their own life and, the challenges and stresses that they have as well through school. So it's a domino effect in all areas for them.
Well, this has also got to be you got to think that when I think about the age that my daughters are, the age I am, you're dealing with adolescence and perimenopause in the same house at the same time, really getting in touch with what's happening with ourselves hormonally and helping get the family in balance has got to go a long way to peaceful homes.
Definitely helps the family structure, that's for sure.
Well, that's wonderful. Some great advice from Kelly. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Sharon.